What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormally Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Well, it's been some time since our latest get-together when I was joined by the spirit of the late, great Nipsey Russell. Tonight, I'm joined by the spirit of the late, great Patsy Cline. How's it going, Patsy? You're looking rough. I'm sorry, but
They got me walking after midnight. Oh man. It's just what came to my mind. I could not help it. I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be anything weird or obnoxious.
Oh, no, not at all.
Just what came to my mind. Besides, I love Patsy Cline.
Well, who doesn't? And
absolutely,
I will say there is definitely not a spitting image going on right now, so you wouldn't have fooled me, regardless of the label. I would have figured it out eventually. If it was not for the voice, it would have been the facial hair that would have given it away.
There you go. And the red veiny bulbous nose.
The red veiny bulbous nose, which we were just discussing.
I know, and I bring that up because it's rumored, or is it actual fact? I don't know, that she was quite an imbiber of the liquor
of
category.
the spirits. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Perhaps. Well, we don't want to
have a wee dram once in a while.
We don't want to speak ill of the long deceased.
No, she was quite talented.
Oh, very, very talented. Very, very talented. But I guess I don't know. I do not know if she was a strong imbiber of the spirits.
Not like
very
us.
Possible. No,
I mean,
hell no.
The real spirit is what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So what does your name mean? Are you Dorf or what is this?
It's Dorf on podcasts. Come on.
Yes.
You don't remember the old Dorf?
Oh, I know. Yeah. The Tim Conway character.
The Dorf phenomena of the 80s. I mean,
yeah. Started on Carol Burnett.
It's that we're loaded with just a bunch of young, hip, with it, cool youngsters listening to the show right now, so they probably have no idea what the Dorf on podcast references is about. But yeah, again, sadly, another late great reference to the late great Tim Conway, the hilarious Tim Conway.
Yeah. Oh, classic.
I used to enjoy the visual of the Dorf on golf and Dorf on fishing and all that stuff. Can you even say Dorf anymore? Am I like offending people in 2026?
What did you call me?
By using the term Dorf. I don't know.
You ain't from around here, are you?
I don't exactly. I guess I don't know. And before we go back to before we venture into the topic at hand, I did type in Patsy Cline alcohol because I want to make sure if we're correct or incorrect. Actually, it says Patsy Cline's connection to alcohol was primarily through her tumultuous marriage to one Charlie Dick.
Well, there you go.
You remember Charlie Dick?
Well,
and he was known for his.
We all call him Chuck Dick.
Chuck Dick, good old Chuck Dick. He was known to drink heavily, but nothing about Patsy. At least not here. I could be absolutely incorrect, but
well, it's It's probably more correct than the crap I was coming up with. I don't know.
Believe it or not, if you are new to the program, this is a paranormal podcast. Believe it or not. This is the Paranormally Zone. My name is Patrick, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghost. No, not the spirit of the legendary Nipsey Russell or Patsy Cline. My co-host with the ghost, the paranormal poster boy, is none other than the legend himself, Mr. Michael Carbno. And this is, I said, is your weekly, bi-weekly dose of all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. How's it going, Patsy?
Well, that introduction rough. Made me feel warm in places that I don't want to talk about.
Oh, okay. Too much information. Too much information.
Well, it was so nice. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Computer Mike agrees as well. So that's
yeah, he filled in for me there. But anyway, you were saying.
I don't know. I'm winded from that introduction. I got to take.
I know.
Take a minute or two here.
I just about yelled for Mary to get my boots. Anyway.
Well, it is April 24th at the time of this recording. To those of you listening sometime in the future, we appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, help spread the Paranormally Zone word. We don't do this for our health, that's for sure. We do it for the love and the passion of talking all things paranormal. And I think we have an interesting topic tonight. I really do.
I'm excited.
Hopefully we can spin it into an interesting, hopefully entertaining web of seductive podcasting discussion.
Good God, there you go again.
Gosh, I'm way too verbose tonight.
Boy, you're a verbose son of a gun. You are. Your verboseness is at the mostest. Just now.
I don't know. I feel like I have multiple hamster wheels going off in my head right now. They're just kind
of your head's moving like a gyroscope a little bit because
just a little bit. My equilibrium is just a wee bit off. Usually, if you are not new to the program, you know that we start off each and every show with a little segment we refer to as Ghost Gab, where we talk all things, well, you guessed it, ghosts, in any number of manners. Tonight, we don't have one. We don't have a dang thing.
Nothing new has happened here.
Nothing new has happened in Mike's haunted abode. As usual, nothing happened to me. I'm just sitting here going la-di-da and just waiting for something, But nope, to no avail, or avail, I should say. Yeah, we perhaps rely too heavily on you, Mike, for the Ghost Gab segments. So
yeah, well,
I hope you don't feel too much pressure.
No, I will not allow that to happen.
Okay. Well, you know what? You said before we started recording, they said, well, maybe when we start talking, something will pop into your head for Ghost Gab. And guess what? Something just popped in my head for Ghost Gab.
Oh, very good. Awesome.
And it relates directly to the topic at hand.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking into, I was told some very interesting stories today at my workplace by a coworker / friend. And I believe everything wholeheartedly. And it was fascinating. It involves generational shared shadow person nightmares. And I'll kind of tease it right there before we dive any deeper. And I say that because in doing our due diligence, Mike, and researching for tonight's episode, I, of course, stumbled across...
Due diligence.
Yes, the due diligence. Is that okay?
Diligence.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not.
Diddle.
Stop. Don't just stop.
Okay.
Apparently, Mike finds that word humorous.
Well, for a moment I did, but I'm over it.
All right. So, generational shared nightmares kind of made me think.
Reoccurring nightmares kind of made me think about generational hauntings. Mm-hmm. And of course, I thought of you, not necessarily because of shared paranormal experiences in your family lineage, but one of the quote unquote theories or explanations for these shared nightmares throughout the generation was let's see, how do I want to word
this, is that perhaps this family line, I don't want to say this is too strong of a word. I don't want to say cursed. I don't want to say the family line is cursed, but they are kind of more apt or more prone to experience the paranormal, perhaps through their subconscious and kind of like in the state of dreams, obviously. And I thought of you thinking of perhaps people being more apt to simply being a haunted person. I'm not saying emotionally or anything like that.
Oh, you could.
Well, okay, emotionally haunted. But I thought of you because, again, if you're new to the program, this guy right here, Mr. Patsy Cline, every damn place you've ever lived in your life, you've experienced the paranormal. And that's just how it is.
That's just how it is.
It is. I have no other words to add to that. And I want to throw it to you, Mike, because I want to, for this ultra important Ghost Gab segment, why the hell do you think that you have been experiencing the paranormal since you were a wee little Patsy Cline? Why? And it also ties into some family history of your hauntings as well. Your dad is a very strong believer in the paranormal. You guys had some experiences. They did. Anyways, I'll throw it to you. What is your vibe? I know you've shared it several times before on the podcast, but please do it again. Why are you a haunted person?
It is. To me, it is generational in my family because, like you said, my dad, what he believed in and had experienced, and my grandmother, his mom, very much had experiences. So it goes back in generations where all these weird things have happened. Mm-hmm. So we're just,
is it something in your genetics? I mean, I just don't get it.
I think it's something that a family acquires along the way, somewhere along its lineage.
Okay. Something is I don't want to say attached, but I will say attached. Something.
Well, it could be, something happened that that causes this entity or energy or whatever to follow along the generations. And when one generation is getting down to where they aren't going to be a viable host for it, maybe it moves on to the next generation, starting a whole new lifetime of that.
I like that. I'm picturing Mike as a withered vessel. That the spirits like, well, we've drained this guy. Time to move on.
Yeah. With my last breath, you just see all these dozens and dozens of wispy spirits leaving my body.
You look like the aliens in the movie Cocoon. That when everything is just drained from their life force.
Nothing left.
Just a sad Don Amici and Jessica Tandy looking down at Mike.
Yeah. Hey, there's something wrong with Hume Cronin over there.
Again, references that probably half the listeners have no idea what the hell we're talking about. That's
Wilford Brimley, get over here.
A very young Wilford Brimley who looked like he was 80.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Steve Gutenberg. Oh, boy.
Yeah. You can't get past the sexual dynamo that is known as Steve Gutenberg. Sorry. So anyways, but Mike, you have siblings, and I think it's safe to say that your siblings have not experienced the paranormal nearly as often as you have, if ever.
That's possible.
Why is that? Why would that be? Why have they chosen you?
Well, maybe I'm just more open and sensitive to that. I glommed onto that with, so much more growing up as a kid, hearing that stuff from my dad, where my brother and my sister didn't have that interest, I don't think. Mm-hmm. And not that they haven't had their own experiences, and not that they don't believe, because they do. Well, like Steve, my brother,
for sure,
he lives now is having some pretty interesting things going on there. I don't know. It's like a built-in family thing. It's just something happens where that energy is just just glommed onto the family. stays through the generations. That energy will never die.
I think I've heard this several times. I mean, and sometimes in reference to myself, but this might be a silly analogy, but you hear stories about how like maybe animals are simply drawn to certain humans as opposed to other humans. Like they have a vibe for whomever may be a good person, right? And the dog is naturally comfortable around this person. And I've been lucky enough to, feel that, I believe. And I'm wondering if maybe the same could be said for the paranormal. I'm not saying that they're seeking you out because, he looks like a cozy, nice guy, so we're going to cling on to him. But kind of along those same lines where you, like you said, you are more naturally open to it. Or it's just, you are, for lack of a better term, more attractive, to the spiritual realm. It's like, this is a potential vessel for us to communicate through. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Not to take over, but to
not to take over. Of course not.
Take the vessel and run with it, or anything like that.
Wasn't that a song? Take the vessel and run. No. Gosh, how many dated references can we use in one episode? I just so many.
Who did that?
References?
Take the money and run.
Steve Miller Band.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. I love Steve Miller. That
I want to marry him.
Me that I didn't catch it. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, I just reverted back to my third grade mind.
I know you are, but what am I? I know I am, but what are you? Or however the hell that goes. I don't know.
I mean, but quite literally, Mike, everywhere you've lived, you've experienced the paranormal. And I have to throw this out too. And I'm not 100% disagreeing with it. Of course not, because I'm sure there are absolutely thousands of legit cases. But of course, there are the skeptics, the pseudo skeptics, or I guess not even necessarily skeptics, but the world of science, Mike, will tell you the world of science, and we love science. Sorry, I just reminded myself. I just sounded like some certain orange politician right there. Love science.
Okay.
Got to say it. No, science and I are best friends. No one knows science like me. Anyways.
Oofta.
Didn't say anything.
No.
Well, you got to throw out the science. Science will tell you, Mike, that those who have experienced the paranormal throughout their life have endured psychological, emotional, or physical trauma during their childhood. And this is like a way of that repressed pain to manifest itself. So what are your thoughts on that? I know we've thrown this out there before. But, I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm sure there are legit cases for that to be 100% true. Of course there is.
Yeah, I would agree with that completely.
But to paint with such a wide brush,
right,
and say that everybody who has ever seen a ghost, well, you've obviously suffered something as a child.
Yeah,
I find that I can't swallow
your big toe one too many times.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Too many people called you Four Eyes when you were in first grade. Yeah. I don't buy that. I don't go down that.
I had diarrhea for 3 days in a row. Anyway.
So what are your thoughts on that? I think it's safe to say that you don't buy it, but I'd like to hear it from you. Hello? Come on, Patsy Cline. You're known for your dulcet tones and your vocal abilities, and you've gone silent during the middle of a podcast.
I don't know. I think that energy is just explain it a little bit deeper where you were going with this, just for a second, because I really want to be able to give the right, correct answer.
Well, I'm just asking. Excuse me. I'm just asking for your feedback on the kind of the pseudo skeptical viewpoint that all paranormal experiences is based upon childhood trauma.
Right.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't believe that. I mean, I'm sure that can happen. I'm sure that does happen.
Oh, for
and
sure.
probably happens very often. But why can't it be that generational passing on, over generations? Why can't it be that this person was born with something maybe a little extra, or just that extra little chunk of DNA that makes them more open to believing things and being able to be open to experiencing the things.
Gotcha. Nope, I'll take that. Mike looks just utterly disappointed in himself right now.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how I could put that whole thing that I just said in my memoirs. I don't know. I didn't want to forget that one.
Yeah, that's kind of a way, in a real way, Mike. We have had our own version of audio memoirs going on for well over a decade now.
Yes, this is true.
When we're long gone, when we're out of this physical existence, it's very possible that this podcast right here is still going to be somehow listened to.
Yeah, like 30 or 40 years after we're dead, we're all gone, and it becomes this cult classic.
It's going to blow up
stuff,
Just like every painter, no painter makes money until they're dead. Same here for our podcasting career.
Exactly. Hey, I'll accept that. Okay. Maybe somewhere along the line when I have one of my descendants going way forward does a genealogical, dig into their background and find I had a great uncle or grandfather that he had this really cool podcast.
I'll take it.
Why not?
I often think to myself, I just want to be remembered.
And I think to myself,
is that pathetic? Or
no.
I don't know. Oh man, I feel like I should be lying on a couch right now talking to somebody. But yeah, it's okay.
I'll sit in that chair next to you. We'll have a little talk.
Hey, we can do that to McIntyre. Maybe we'll give ourselves some psychiatrist therapy when we're at the McIntyre. It's McIntyre. I keep saying McIntyre, but it's McIntyre.
Yeah, whatever. Yes, the countdown is on.
And by the way, and we are going to transition here. We're going to take a really brief time traveling excursion before we dive into the meat of the topic. But I will say those links that you sent me are super cool. And I'm wondering, are those going to be on the whole time that we're there as well? Or is that something that is on only when there's no one occupying the house, the mansion, I mean?
I wonder, could you imagine doing an investigation and there's live feeds all over the place?
That's what I'm saying. Because if those are on, not only would we be able to share whenever we can from our devices and our live stream or our Patreon video episodes, whatever we do. I mean, if those are still on, I'd love to have listeners watching while we're there. I think that would be awesome. Flipping fantastic. Can you imagine we're up in we're down in the basement and all of a sudden someone's watching the webcam in the second story or in the second floor and they say, dude, something just walked. A shadow person went up on the second floor, and then we go, hey,
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 wait a minute.
Hey. We start running in circles, just running over each other.
Dude, run.
Exactly. Then we hear that too.
Yeah.
Yes, Mike, I'm looking forward to this topic, and I really want to dive into it, and I want to give it its due worth. So we are going to take a brief time traveling excursion, and we shall return before you know it. And we have returned from yet another successful time traveling excursion. I feel like we're kind of knocking the rust off from our time traveling abilities, because it went quite a while. We went quite a while without time traveling during podcasts, but we've done it more and more often lately. I feel kind of good about it.
Yeah. Well,
not so much.
Yeah. Hey.
Mike just goes,
I mean, it's not going to keep me up tonight, but sure, it's pretty cool.
Well, computer Mike, can you make me feel better, please? All right, thank you. See, at least someone finds me humorous. Lord, it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes.
You were joking? Okay, I get it. I get it now.
Ow!
Yes.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah.
I wonder
Absolutely.
what context that was. I mean, what was going on that made me scream like that?
I explained that to you not that long ago. This was when you were sharing your story of waking up in the middle of the night, and it was during the pasty white ghosty story. And you were, like flipping off, or not flipping off, but freaking out Mary, and this was your impersonation. Wow!
Okay, that's so great that you brought that up because it just happened again the other night.
Oh, are you serious?
She saw me, and she thought I was a ghost.
Oh my God, for real?
Yes. Yeah. So
again,
the pasty white ghosty is still there.
Oh my! You have to have this set up sometime, Mike. The next time she wakes up, you gotta.
We're ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
There'll be another one. One.
Look, they have no legs. They have no feet.
Look in the corner. It's
pasty white ghosty.
Yes. All right, Mike. Enough of that. Enough of that childish banter.
That's enough of that.
Oh, damn it! Would you stop? See, now I need to find that. But okay, forget it. Computer Mike, which one's Computer Mike? We're gonna compare and contrast. Computer Mike, take it.
Enough of that.
All right, real Mike.
Enough of that.
Enough of that.
All right,
I put a little more emphasis at the end of it.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike. So, generational hauntings, generational, I guess, shared nightmares with the same main character, for lack of a better term, antagonist. That's even maybe a better term.
There you go. Yeah.
So again, a coworker, friend of mine just came out of casual conversation today, kind of segueing back and forth. And at one point we start kind of talking about odd dreams, potentially paranormal experiences. And she just kind of casually says, she goes, yeah, like my shadow man. And I caught my ear, obviously. I'm like, what? Shadow man? And she proceeded to share the story that not only herself, but her mother and her mother's mother, her grandmother, and I want to say there's another relative involved.
Her sister.
It might have been, yeah, someone.
But but I think you said the great grandmother as well.
Maybe it was the great grandmother as well.
Yeah, I remember that in the text. Yeah,
I will clarify that with her. But her nightmare, for lack of a better term, revolves around a shadow person, a shadow man that consistently, that the meat of the dream, of the experience, is always the same. She is literally always being chased by this entity. Different settings. She said she's been in her dream. She's been like in her driveway, within a house, a hallway, and at one point it was like inside of a school, and what she described as like appeared to be like this never-ending hallway that she was trying to. She said actually there was classes on each side of the hall. It was a school, and she was being chased by what she described as a very tall, purely dark, shadowy human figure, no discernible face whatsoever, that is constantly chasing her. Not only is she running in her dreams, but this figure is running in her dreams.
In a school hallway that it does not end.
In a school hallway
in one of the
end.
settings.
In one of the settings.
That's freaky.
Is that not freaky?
I've had dreams of being chased before. And actually one of them was in a school that I went to when I was, from kindergarten, then halfway through third grade. And I've had dreams about being chased downstairs and into the gymnasium area in the back. Very, very old, earliest of 1900s, this school
building
was built.
Yeah.
And, but I've had dreams about that being chased. And so I don't know. I'm not saying there's a comparison there, but it's just interesting that, if there's other people that share that,
the similar experience.
Yeah. Something psychological that you just really hated about school, maybe, or something, and just follows you that way.
Yeah. Hey, that's an interesting perspective for sure. Because again, during my due diligence, the hilarious terms that Mike found so funny earlier today, that is.
Well, I thought you said duty.
I didn't say duty. Okay, we're kind of mature on this podcast, but we try not to be too much. But of course, again, and there are so many different perspectives of what's the meaning behind such nightmares and such vivid nightmares. And of course, it's thrown out there like, well, what is this person, quote unquote, running from in their life that is kind of manifesting itself in dream form, right? What are they trying to escape? What deep, hurtful, maybe memory, repressed memory, perhaps, that they are, again, running from. But the eeriness doesn't end there. Yeah, it's creepy. It's terrifying nightmare. I mean, she described that she's actually like, jolts out of bed, like falls out of her bed at one point because she is just taken aback by this terror.
And it's such a realistic dream, I suppose. It's just
such a realistic dream. Yeah. I want to say that she felt like it got close enough to actually have its hand, like being contacted by it in one dream too, like feeling its hand upon her.
Wow.
But what is just eerie and bizarre is that, as I mentioned, this is a exact experience shared in other family members' dreams throughout the generations. And same description of the shadow person, same type of experiences. And that it absolutely fascinates me. I don't know where to even begin. Is this, of course, my mind goes to paranormal. I'm like, oh my gosh, what attachment do they have in this family line? What happens, or what entity is just clinging to this bloodline for whatever reason? That's where my mind went initially.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if that's where your mind went, but I'm assuming that's a safe guess.
Well, of course, yeah. But, or is it something in the DNA or glitch in their genes or something?
See, that's another thing too.
That is shared by generations. I don't know.
Because I will profess my ignorance. She educated me in this tale too, because I didn't know, and I'll profess my ignorance. I didn't know that there is such a thing as passed on trauma. And I don't know if listeners out there are shaking their heads in disbelief and say, oh my gosh, this guy's a moron. He didn't know this was real.
You idiot.
Yes. You bastard. You dirty bastard. Were you aware of this phenomenon, Mike, of particularly women passing down traumatic experiences through generations? Like something so disturbing, so traumatic happened to whomever, 50, 60, 100 years ago. That feeling of trauma is so embedded into their system. It literally affects, like you said, their DNA, their makeup, that it is passed on to their kin, to their children. I mean, that blows me away. What are your thoughts on that first and foremost?
It amazes me. I mean, it's like I can see the point of it, and if I, in my completely unscientific mind, but picturing that, going through that evolution, it's like I can almost see that as a possibility, because it's like we pass many things in our genes,
Tell me about it.
that go from family to family to family, like baldness, for male pattern baldness and things like that is
for sure.
Really, I know, because that's you just
computer Mike was he, or computer soundboard, was that worth the cheap shot?
No.
Okay.
No. where was I? Anyway,
just for that, Mike's favorite sound bites.
There we go. And one more, probably, and then we're done. Okay.
See, again, if there are webcams and there's actually audio on the webcams, and people tune into the McIntyre.
Doing it live. That sound, which will never.
So again, anyway. I profess my ignorance. I was not familiar with that phenomenon.
I never have been either, and it is fascinating and definitely worth digging into.
Very briefly, I'm going to share a few things here, and the first one is about that exact scientific truth. And it's an article from the Arkansas Advocate, and it is about epigenetics, which are, you guessed it, the scientific field which investigates how our environment influences our genes. In fact, altering not our DNA sequence, but how, in fact, it's actually read and utilized. So, and I'll spare you all the boring details, but this is a real thing, an absolute real thing. Now, how was family trauma passed down by genetics, you might ask? Well, according to the American Psychological Association, it describes trauma as an emotional reaction to a distressing event. Yes, we get it, such as an accident or a natural disaster, death, what have you. Now, this reaction can manifest itself immediately as shock and denial, and later as emotional volatility, strained relationships, or physical symptoms. While our minds try to avoid, suppress, or numb painful memories, the latest research suggests the effects of trauma extend beyond the initial event and can even be transmitted to subsequent generations. This concept, known as intergenerational transmission of trauma effects. Okay, very straightforward name.
What else would you call it?
What else? Exactly. The phenomenon known as people bursting into flames is called the phenomena of people bursting into flames. Yes. And this was actually first recognized in studies involving survivors of the Dutch famine during World War II and Holocaust survivors. The studies found that traumatic experiences like stress, famine, or war can influence the expression of our genes, thereby affecting our offspring. Trauma doesn't alter our DNA, but it can guide which genes are activated or deactivated, similar to a marginal note in a book. And finally, when an individual experiences trauma, their body may adapt by adjusting gene expression. And some of these changes can be passed on to their children, akin to inherited, quote unquote, notes. So yeah, I mean, there you go. I spared you a lot of the minutia of that article, but that's a real thing. Epigenetics. I mean, it makes you wonder. It's like, man, is there anything that's embedded in my psyche that I can blame on great-great-grandpa, years ago? It blows me away. Am I wrong in being fascinated by this? I find it.
No, it is fascinating. But so what happens then? I mean, the next generation that is affected by that trauma, that the first person that actually lived through that trauma and experienced the trauma firsthand. So when it's passed on to the next generation, is that just like they don't have the memory of that trauma, but they are feeling the effects of it?
Exactly. And so I can imagine that could be a traumatic event in itself.
It's like, how can you figure out what's wrong? I mean, how can even a doctor figure out what's wrong when there's no way that they can know that, or if there's markers that they can look for, as they advance in the knowledge of this.
Yes.
But yeah, it's very fascinating. It really is.
Yeah. And again, I thank her for informing me of this, because I had no idea.
Well, and to know somebody that's actually experiencing this, guys, I'm sure that's not, just a wide ranged phenomena. I mean,
and so, I mean, is there a connection between these shared nightmares? Is there a trauma that is manifesting in the form of these nightmares? Like, for argument's sake, we're throwing the paranormal out of there. for now. Mm-hmm. And we're saying, is this purely a psychological traumatic event that has, survived through generational DNA because of its, because of its imprint that it's left in their family genes? I guess. I don't know. That's something to ponder, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's always room for pondering. But actually, and I had this thought as well, as why can't it be as something as simple as, okay, there is an event that happened, say, 4 generations back, 4 times great grandma got her leg shut off or something. I don't know.
Yes.
And
bit by the world's largest mosquito.
Extremely traumatized for whatever reason. And the next generation, not so much inheriting or having that inherited DNA from that trauma, it's actually the story that has, been passed on to the next generation. And maybe there's a psychological issue in that family that is making each subsequent subsequential.
I like subsequent.
Subsequent generation to come. That story is passed on and passed on and passed on, and each one of them are like, "That's me. I have that same thing.
Yes,
I do the same thing." And they get it so built up in their head that, oh my God, this is passed on from generation to generation. Well, you see where I'm going.
I do see where you're going. Yeah, and it's
something as simple and stupid as that.
No, that not.
No, I don't want to say it's stupid. I'm not going to say it's stupid, but
no, I know that.
But it just, it just shows that there's many thoughts and theories that can go out about this.
Oh, of course,
phenomena.
And we've also talked about, and before I continue that on the topic at hand, but we've also talked about the human mind being able to create paranormal events, like legit what others may experience as a legit paranormal event. It's actually again, here's that term again, manifesting from the human mind. We hear so many arguments that poltergeist activity is allegedly caused by, more often than not, adolescents, who are, for whatever reason, under some sort of influence and able to manipulate the environment around them.
Well, it's just like
by what they're going through in their development and their haywire mind at that time,
Yeah.
There's some who believe that. I'm not necessarily one of them. I'm not saying I don't believe it, but sorry, Mike, go ahead.
A great example is, that teen thing where, your dirty pillow showing in your prom dress Carrie type of a person that is so bullied and everything, and that anger builds up until you see what happens.
You saw what happened. Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
So
John Travolta will never be the same.
Oh no. There's no way he survived that one. No.
The phenomena of multiple generations, a mother, daughter, and grandmother, for instance, sharing nightmares about the same shadow man, is in fact a documented, though terrifying occurrence frequently linked to shadow people lore, specifically the Hat Man. Now, I did ask her when we were talking, I said, did you happen to see, did your shadow figure have like a hat or like a trench coat or something? I don't know if I asked a trench coat, but I was thinking it, but I asked about the hat. And she said, no, I've never seen a hat. He's just a very tall figure. And that's very, very common as far as the almost universal depictions of the Hat Man, is that he's like 6, 7, 8 feet tall.
Right.
He's big.
Yeah. The shadow man. Yeah.
And that was no exception today when I heard that story.
Except for me, all the shadow people that I've seen are probably about 4 feet tall.
Right. Yeah. You see,
little legs peeking from behind a couch.
You see wee shadow people.
Yeah. wee people. All shadowy and stuff.
And they're all going, hi ho, hi ho. No offense to Snow White.
No,
these experiences, these experiences often involve, as I said, a tall, shadowy figure and a wide-brimmed hat, frequently occurring during sleep paralysis. Again, we've talked about sleep paralysis quite often. Terrifying reality. My gosh. And I just remembered now, too. One of the first things that she actually shared with me months and months ago I don't even remember how this conversation came up. Her young boy right now has been experiencing night terrors. That was one of the first things that she ever talked to me about, kind of out of the ordinary subject. Can't remember how the topic came up.
So would that have been the next newest generation?
Right. That's what just popped into my mind.
But you said it's a little boy this time.
It's a boy. Oh boy, that's really that's intriguing. That's intriguing. That's an intriguing coincidence.
Is he old enough to ask about these things, like what is scaring him so much, or if he sees things in a dream? Yes. Has he explained anything? Or
I haven't dove into that very much.
Well, you didn't prepare for this show very well, did you?
What the hell are you talking about? that connection just popped in my brain right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
just
saying.
I'm glad I could give you another idea of what you can do.
Because it literally popped in my brain as an odd coincidence. That's right. Exactly, she had mentioned this too.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. That's very, very cool. Yes.
So, but as we know, sleep paralysis can often be interpreted as a paranormal event, but most quote unquote people suggest it as a physiological event of the mind.
Yeah.
Not necessarily even caused.
A crazy thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not even necessarily caused by a shared trauma, but indeed perhaps common psychological event. I don't know. I'm going all over the place here. And we shared some of the common characteristics of the alleged Hat Man. The shared sightings, again, many reports exist of families such as mothers and daughters, grandmothers, which we've talked about, seeing this exact same figure. And I didn't dive into details if their dreams were in fact identical, but the gist of the story was yes, that they were. And the description of this figure, identical.
Yeah.
That blows me away.
Yeah. Seeing the exact same thing, it would be so crazy if that shadow person ever actually caught up to one of them.
Yeah.
And then that person wakes up with a scratch, along the shoulder or something like that, where
oh my gosh. Can I share Can I share another thing that she shared with me? Not related to these shadow people dreams. And she won't mind that I'm sharing this. Again, no names.
Right.
The identities are being spared. Many years ago, when she was alone, she had, I believe, a 2-month-old child at the time. And I'll keep this as brief as possible. She had a very, very lucid, and I don't want to say fairly common, but you hear about this quite a bit. I've known people who have experienced this, where at one point she's awake. She's in bed. She hears a very clear whisper, human voice whisper, not decipherable. At that point, and she's alone in the house. Doors are locked. She's by herself, except for
laying in bed.
Laying in bed.
Yeah.
Not asleep. Laying in bed.
Right.
Her 2-month-old is down the hall, sleeping. She hears an adult whisper. Immediately after that, her dogs notice this whisper too. She's saying they start kind of going, I don't want to say bonkers, but barking, what have you.
A little agitated.
At that point, she's lying on her side facing one direction, but she feels the bed sink as if someone sits down on the bed right next to her. Again, no one's in the house. She's the only one there. And she kept repeating to herself, do not, for whatever reason, she's like, don't open your eyes. Don't look. Don't look. For whatever reason, just don't do it. it gets creepy. It gets creepier than that. I don't want to share too many details. She felt at this point too, something sharp and cold being pressed on the back of her neck at this time. So much so that eventually, when looking in the bathroom, inspecting herself, there was a red mark that was left on the back of her neck after this experience.
She had woken up.
Yes. Well, she was never asleep. She was awake this whole time.
Got it. Yes.
So we have the human whisper, the dogs reacting, her bed sinking, something telling her not to open her eyes or turn around or look because of this foreboding feeling and the feeling of something cold and sharp being pressed on her neck. In fact, leaving a mark on her neck. And again, I know listeners are probably going, oh my gosh, whatever. How do you know this? And I'm just saying, I have good ghost dar. Okay.
Ghost dar.
There's radar, there's ghost dar. I believe it 195%. And now, again, as we are wont to do, it seems, or on this podcast, Mike, I don't know if I'm using that phrase correctly or not. Our conversations go everywhere because more and more stuff pops into my mind, and this is no exception because I'm seeing all this interrelated, interconnected with her son's night terrors, these experiences within her family, the shadow person, vivid, terrifying dreams, and like this one particular experience. Doesn't sound pleasant to me. That one right there for sure.
And
wow.
And what I wonder too is like each generation that goes through this, I mean, are they experiencing this as far back as they can remember in their lives until they die? You know, is this like just a life sentence of these reoccurring nightmares? You know, well, they're more than a nightmare. I don't know.
Man, when you put it that way, it's a life sentence. Oh man,
kind of dire.
That was a little dire. Goodness.
I wouldn't like it.
No. Again, the Hatman phenomena has been widely reported for years and years and years. One of the quote unquote, I don't want to say debunkers out there, one of the theories out there is that the Hatman is actually kind of a collective psychological phenomena that goes as far back to like the Black Plague, you know, or like ominous dark figures that humans have created in various forms of art and in storytelling and so on and so forth. And this Hatman is kind of almost on its own organically come to a quote unquote reality through this cultural connected mindset, you know,
like this legend, you know, it's been passed on.
Exactly.
It's been given the energy to become reality.
Right. 100%. And that, again, that's kind of tied into the human mind creating paranormal phenomena in the first place.
Right.
Potentially. Yeah, individuals across different locations, cultures, and generations describe seeing the same shadowy figure, often accompanied by feelings of intense terror or sleep paralysis. Reports indicate this entity is experienced by multiple generations within families, sometimes appearing to children, parents, and grandparents alike. Again, the description, 6 to 7 feet tall, dark, foreboding figure, sense of intense dread, fear, or void of happiness. That's interesting.
Kind of sucking your energy.
Absolutely sucking your energy. Of course, other interpretations are science-based sleep paralysis. Experts often attribute the Hatman to hypnagogic or hypnopompic hallucinations occurring when people wake up during REM sleep, causing them to hallucinate while unable to move. Of course, there's those who say this is simply based on folklore, and others say you're just on drugs. You're hallucinating, you're whacked out, substance-induced sightings, and that's not the case in these particular stories that I've shared.
You've been dropped on your head when you were a baby.
Dropped on your head when you're a baby. But again, this is a paranormal podcast. This is what we talk about, and we tend to lean to the paranormal as being behind this. quite a bit. What we've talked about tonight, Mike, her stories in general, are you vibing that it's paranormal in nature, or are you looking at more of a genetic deal that's happening with all of these shared dreams and her young boys now night terrors? I mean, what the hell's going on?
Of course, I would have to go the paranormal route.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
how can you not?
I just do. I'm not saying that it can't happen the other way, but
yeah,
I don't know. I believe it's something paranormal.
You're thinking
something
paranormal.
That has.
So if it is paranormal, though, are you okay with me asking you what could the basis of paranormal be for this particular incident or any number of these? However many people have experienced these. Is this something to me? I don't know if I'm generalizing, but this seems like negative. This seems like a negative energy that isn't good.
Just the fact that they're terrorized by it, it says a lot about that. But
even the physical even the physical manifestations in their mind and their dream states, those are negative connotations as well.
Yeah, I think of it as
it's not like they're being chased by an angel with wings, and
you're right,
with that
and you're hearing
warm
angelical harps playing in the background.
The warm embrace, that the inviting feeling. No, this is terror. This is being chased. I want to say in my heart of hearts that it's paranormal related. That's my vibe. I'm going with how I feel.
Yeah.
There's something in that family. There's something in that family that something happened somewhere along the lines that something is attached. That's my take on it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's an attachment. It's an attachment to the family that it reaches over the generations. That, like I said before, it's like the one host passes away and it goes to the next generation.
Goes to the next one.
I don't know.
Goes to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to, obviously I'd encourage her and her family, if they're interested and they want to find out, to do their due diligence, perhaps, if interested.
Do.
Yeah, do. You do what you do.
Do their due diligence.
Do some research and see what you can find out. See how far back you can go and document any number of potential events that could be the basis of this, or where they lived, what houses, what had they all been on the same kind of family plot, family lot, or land. There's something there. There's got to be some connection.
Yeah.
That I can't wrap my feeble mind around it. That's for sure.
Well, and my mind is more feeble than yours, and
it isn't.
It's impossible to figure out for me. It definitely deserves some thought.
Oh, for what? Yeah, 100%. Now, some of the psychological, I guess, interpretations of such phenomena, the running away from this figure is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
One would suggest, like a psychiatrist, Mike, or a psychologist would ask you, is like, well, what do you think you are running away from in life? Do you have are there repressed parts of your own personality that you are running away from? Is there a fear? Is there a guilt? Is there an anxiety? Is there something that you are running away from? Again, I'm not talking paranormal. I'm talking like a deep dive into oneself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what perhaps could you be withholding within yourself that, again, is taking shape as this hat man, this shadow man in your dreams? What are you avoiding? I love this. What to do in case this happens, Mike? It says, stop and face it. Well, Can you do that in your dreams? Are you able to manipulate yourself in dream? That sounded terrible. Manipulate yourself.
If you're having a lucid dream, yeah.
If you're having a lucid dream, for sure.
Yeah, that's something that I want to do that so bad, and I try to focus on that, and I can never do it. I've never had it.
I just can't. It's frustrating in my dreams that I tell myself in my dreams, do something, but I can't. I can never make myself do something in a dream. Ever. I've never been able to do it. But I think it. I just can't bring it to fruition. So that's a whole other kerfuffle right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop it. Instead of running, turn to face the shadow figure in your dream. That could perhaps break the cycle. Okay, yeah, so just do that. Just turn around and face and say, hey, you, and shake your finger at it. Not today, mister.
Yeah. But if it's a demon from hell, then you're screwed. Well, I guess I was wrong on that one.
Yep, exactly. I'll wipe my hands clean.
They'll apologize later, but I don't know.
So perhaps being chased by a shadow man in your dream, it could perhaps symbolize avoiding a major fear, an unresolved emotion, or a negative aspect of yourself, the quote-unquote shadow self that is catching up to you. Mike, do you have a shadow self that we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
You were just on fire tonight.
Well, I don't
think so.
Well, a simple question deserves a simple answer.
Was it a simple question, or was it too much for you to handle?
No,
Mike's just like, I don't know what's up with you. You're like smirking, you're grinning, you're just having a whale of a time. I throw the mic to you, and all I get is.
There you go. There you had to pull that one out.
I had to pull that one. Meantime, listeners are going.
Are you a couple of nitwits?
Sometimes.
I can't even go to the bathroom when I want to.
Perfect. Very good. Henry Fonda is here right now. But again, if perhaps my friend is listening sometime in the future, thank you so much for allowing me to share your experiences as we aim to. I suppose we could probably aim to wrap up the episode tonight. But any listeners out there who have shared such vivid, intense dreams and have also had similar or shared dreams with family members, another fascinating event. I don't even know what else, however else to describe it. I mentioned as well, it reminded me, Mike, I'm sorry, my mind is going all over the place. But when we were discussing this earlier, it reminded me of a story from relatives of mine, my two nieces and their mom, who over the course of a night, all three of them shared the same dream. They were all within each other's dream and all interacting within each other. And it kind of casually came up in conversation the next day because one of them said, man, I had a dream that you and I were doing this. And then they said, what? Okay. And then they all started filling in the blanks as to what the other person was doing in the dream because they all were interacting in the same flippin' dream.
Yeah, that's like...
what the hell's going on there?
That's like experiencing some kind of a multiple dimensional crossover somewhere.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Exactly.
That's really cool.
They were all like astral projecting into each other's minds and just interacting and bouncing off of each other. I mean, not literally bouncing off each other, but they were able to finish each other's stories because in my dream you did this, and I did do that. And mind blowing.
Before they took their nap, they did a lot of mushrooms too. So
I forgot I should have added that as well. Some really bad acid tends to do that.
Bad acid, like there's the good one.
Oh yeah, there's acid reflux. That's a terrible one.
Boy, that's horrible.
You imagine having horrible
cancer from that.
Oh, yes, you can. Especially if you were tripping on acid and suffering from acid reflux at the same time. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
No, thanks. No, thanks.
Stomach acid coming up from one end and I don't whatever the hell else from the other. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You made me lose my breath there for a second. What the hell?
I regurgitated a little bit of stomach acid.
Yeah, just a little bit going on right there. Well, Mike, I suppose we can wrap it up. Computer Mike, what do you have left?
I have nothing.
Okay, how about you?
Nothing.
How about real life, Mike? How would you care to wrap this one up? I hope it was a fairly interesting conversation for you.
Yeah, very interesting, and something I'd love to learn more about. I mean, if you ever have another good conversation with this person, just
100%.
Yeah, ask good questions. Well, I'm not saying you haven't, but just ask some questions and see what more you can learn.
Yeah, there's something going on there, and again, our minds lead towards the paranormal. It's paranormal in nature somehow, and not just because it's cool and it's fun to think of it in a paranormal way, but it's I think it's legit.
My paranormal nature has been passed down from generations.
Yes, and my paranormal non-nature has as well.
Yeah,
non-nature.
I was referencing the show itself with that. That generations. I mean, it's the way it's been for generations. Just like not as deep as what we were talking about with these dreams and things, but for me, it's a shared interest and passion for it.
Yeah.
Along with having the experiences to prove it to yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's also another. I mean, we will wrap it up here, but that's another thing that I think is important to point out is that again, the naysayers will say, "Well, yeah, I mean, I bet you $100 Grandma had a terrifying nightmare. At one point or another, she shared it with her daughter. Just casually shared it, and so right there, that image is embedded into their young daughter's mind, and then the daughter itself and that young, I guess what is a term, malleable mind, it's still forming, then that mind has that nightmare because it was implanted by mom just simply sharing the story, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, of course that can happen. Is that the case here? No, I don't think so.
And how likely is it that's a story that is important enough to pass on for like 4 or 5 generations?
Yeah.
It's like the next daughter tells their daughter, the next daughter tells their daughter, the next.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think something like that would be lost over that period of time, but
for sure, different versions of it. It would change a little bit, parts would be different, and it just doesn't seem to be the case. So fascinating, intriguing, and I would love to learn more.
Very thought-provoking.
Certainly thought-provoking. Well, Mike, it's your favorite time for the episode. If you've made it this far, everybody, God bless you. God bless you. We love you. We think you're all hell of a group of people. And we want to just, we toast you. We salute you. But yes, if you've made it this far and you enjoy the podcast and you care to support us, no better way than to give our Patreon page a shot. Yeah, you can sign up for as little as $1 a month, access to over 120 episodes you can find nowhere else other than the Paranormally Zone Patreon page, including our Wicked Legacies True Crime subseries and our Retro and Randoms Pop Culture subseries and a bunch of footage. Mike and I running naked through graveyards during our ghost hunting adventures. And no, we aren't naked. We have our britches on and pullovers and all that stuff. Mike, okay, I'm not even halfway done yet, and you're already sighing. It's a necessary evil. I'm sorry.
No,
there is a lot of free content. There is a lot of free content. You don't even have to sign up for $1. You can sign up free. You can listen to some free episodes and then say this isn't even worth it for free. So all it's done is waste my time.
So, I'm going to change the channel.
I'm going to change the channel. Yeah, I'm going to find a different site. And if you do sign up for $1 a month, no obligations at all. You can quit at any time, which of course has happened. So within hours, as a matter of fact. No matter how many times I've said that, it still cracks me up. So it's like, hey, Mike, we got a new Patreon member. Half hour later, hey, Mike, we lost a new Patreon member. It's kind of
how many times does it have to happen?
But we do have awesome Patreon supporters, and we appreciate all of them. So, Mike, this has been fun. Thank you for joining me, Patsy Cline. It's been it's been educational.
Dorf.
Hopefully, Dorf. Hopefully, it's been fairly entertaining for our listeners. Yeah, if I get any updates, I will gladly provide them to you and our wonderful audience out there.
Yes. Remember, folks, also that Patrick has Ghost Star.
I should. Hey, that's another shirt in the making right there.
Yes,
Ghost Star. Awesome. I like that.
I have Ghost Star.
Ghost Star.
I like it.
I like it. Mike, until next time, my friend, what do our paranormal pals need to do?
Oh, peace out, folks.